The Rock debuted 1996 in Survivor Series. It is now 2004. Dwayne Johnson is cutting the best promos of his career, in my opinion. Man, we fresh off of Raw. Monday Night Raw, March 25th. This is Bobbymonsson215 Channel. I'm Jay, and let's get right to it. What The Rock did tonight was like, man, it's just incredible how he's carrying WrestleMania 40. To be honest, I've been watching WrestleMania since like WrestleMania 3 or 4. Maybe 4 was my first WrestleMania I ever watched. This is incredible what The Rock is doing. I never seen one man since Hulk Hogan, because Hulk Hogan back in the day used to carry the WrestleManias. I never seen one man carry a pay-per-view big as WrestleMania like this. I hate to be like, I don't want to be like a Debbie Downer. I don't want to be like a negative Nancy, but to be honest, this Raw was like, it wasn't worse than SmackDown this past Friday, but it was still lackluster. But man, The Rock literally saved the show, like honestly. You know, I usually try to map the show down from A to B. I try to go in order, but we're not doing that. Tonight, we're going to start off from the highlight of the show, which is Dwayne Johnson. First, he came out with Cody, and just to kind of give a brief summary of what happened, because there's not much to talk about. Cody came out, he cut his regular promo. Rock came out, and guess what he did? Said nothing. He whispered something in Cody's ear, and they tried to get down to the bottom of it backstage. We didn't get no answers, so we would never know what he whispered in Cody's ear. Just like when he did it when Cody was about to give away his WWE Royal Rumble win to The Rock, when The Rock was a babyface before the Hill Rock came back. Whatever he whispered in his ear, we'll never know. And that's just what it is. But The Rock was really silent. And sometimes The Rock is great on the mic, but sometimes less is more. You know, like sometimes you could say the most loudest things by not saying nothing. And that's what The Rock did tonight. At least in the beginning anyway. We're just going to cut right to like the end of the show. Then I'll fill in kind of what happened, just the filler stuff. Let's get right to the important. Man. So Cody Rhodes is fighting backstage. Of course, the predictable thing happens. You got interferences from in the crowd, from Solo and Jimmy, and they start fighting. Make a long story short, we'll get into that a little bit later. Cody Rhodes is beating Solo Sikoa up at backstage, and guess who? Ooh, Rock comes in out of nowhere, and he says this line. Like, what is that line he keeps saying? Man, what is that line? Look at you now, boy. Yeah, look at you now. He just start whipping Cody backstage. And it's kind of crazy because he's not only he's cutting one of the best promos of his life while he's giving him the beating of a lifetime. And I'm sure Mama Rhodes is home, you know, crying and, you know, being consoled by her family because, man, when you go against the final boss, that could bring a lot of emotional damage your way. And The Rock proved it. And, man, like they was fighting outside. He starts beating him up backstage. He starts slamming him into the thing. Yo, there's one, like, trash can shot that Cody took. You know how sometimes when you get hit with the chair or the trash can, they try to block with their hands. None of that. If I'm not mistaken, Rock threw that trash can and Cody took that headshot. And it was like, even though it's a trash can, it can only hurt but so much. That looked like it hurt. It definitely looked like it hurt. Boom. straight hit him with the trash can. He's beating him up all the backstage, and then they go outside, and it's raining, and the aesthetics of it just looks like cool. Cause I don't remember the last time, if ever, we seen somebody getting beat up in the rain backstage on WWE Network or WWE programming. So I always love just stuff that I haven't seen before, because sometimes when you're a fan like me and you've been watching this since you was a kid, it's just like you feel like you've seen everything. But I could be mistaken, but I don't really remember seeing like two people just fighting in the rain and a dude cutting a promo while he's whooping the dude ass in the rain. It was kind of incredible. So he's beating him up. There was one part where I'm like, yo, this would be crazy if The Rock throws him off the ledge. Yo, now, do you remember? Well, not do you remember, but this for the new fans. There was a time, I feel like Rock was fighting Stone Cold, and like Stone Cold got thrown over the river or whatever. He fell into like the river. I could be mistaken. Maybe he threw his belt over the river. I got to look back at that segment. I don't really know. But I remember something like that happened. If I'm not mistaken, I feel like he threw Stone Cold over the river. And I'm looking at this segment like, man, if he throw Cody over this thing into the garage, that would be incredible. I think they should have did it. Like, they should have had some like protective thing, of course, where, you know, when Cody actually lands, you know, he's not like hitting concrete or anything like that. But just to see him go over that ledge and everybody in Chicago be like, oh crap, what is going on? I think that would have been like just good. But yo, and I honestly believe, like, you could tell Rock is like the head of the board and all of that, because that man, he doesn't care about any of them all that PG stuff that probably it says in the contract. If you say this or that, you get fined. Rock threw all of that shit out the window. He said shit, bitch, ass, fuck. He was saying everything. And it was just, man, like, it was just incredible. So he starts beating Cody up, like, all outside. He's in the rain. Now, the one thing that I thought was, like, I still liked it, but I just wish it kind of connected a little bit more. So he's hitting Cody on the on his bus, the American Nightmare bus. So he's throwing Cody into the bus. And you know, when you throw him into the bus, he's like selling it. He's like trying to hit his head, so he don't actually hit his head. So he throws him into the bus. Doesn't seem like much of a hard hit. Rock cuts the promo, and you know what happened behind the scenes. Well, not behind the scenes, but while he's cutting the promo, Cody's off to the side, and you know, he sliced his head a little bit just to get a little bit of color. I forgot what you call that. I got to research that term, but it's a term where you slice your head, you get a little bit of color, and then you turn around, the camera pans, and all of a sudden Cody Rhodes' head is just bleeding. And it's kind of like, okay, I like the look of it, and okay, we're bringing blood back. That's good, especially since we're rolling into the Netflix era in 2025. But for me, I just look like, man, it's obvious it's a slit in his head. Like, okay, what happened that caused that slit? You know, I just wished, I don't know. I know Rock has his own personal writers, so that's the only thing that I didn't like. Okay, Cody Rhodes has a slit busted open in his head. We all seen him go like this when he hit his head on his bus, and that's what made it a slip. Like, I feel like anything could have been used. Once again, maybe a chair, maybe a weapon. I said this in episode before, and I'll probably say this 100 episodes after this. Let's try to implement weapons a little bit more, because it just makes sense in the story. It doesn't make sense that Cody ran into a bus and now he has a slit in his head. But all in all, that's the only thing. That's just really me nitpicking too. Honestly, if I wasn't really being petty, like, this was a great promo. And so he got the slit in his head or whatever. So he's all busted open, and The Rock wipes the blood off. Then this boy, he had a fucking belt that said Mama Rose on it, and it was white. And I feel like They definitely have to sell this at WWE Shop. I might have to buy that too, you know, so when I do my deadlifts or something like that, or if I gotta do some squats, like I had that belt on Mama Rose with the Brahma board, that shit is fire. But yeah, he had the white Mama Rose belt. He wiped his blood. He put his blood on there, and it was great. It was some great stuff. But let's get into Monday Night Raw. Man, kudos to The Rock, because he got a lot of flack in the beginning of this whole thing, and in the craziest way, it's like he's carrying the whole WrestleMania 40. WrestleMania 40 looks crazy without The Rock, if you ask me. Let's start off at the beginning of the show. Cody kicks the night off at Raw. We in Chicago. The building was lit. Now, this is the thing where I sometimes be thinking is weird. Not even weird, but I just be wondering, like, why didn't they have the regular Raw setup? Because obviously it seemed like it was downsized. I wonder why, if it was a Titantron malfunction or maybe it couldn't fit in the arena, but it still made it look good. And to be honest, I liked them like I don't know. When the setting is a little bit more downsized, it just feels like a little bit. It just reminds me like back in the day, because back in the day, Raw. I remember when Raw didn't even have a Titantron, so that reminds me of back in the day. So Cody comes out and he starts giving reasons of why he does stuff for people, and you know he was giving I'm about to be the best man as somebody's wife. Why? I don't know. And it's just like, then he talks about how he takes these kids to WrestleMania 2 nights in a row. He gave a few other examples. Like kind of like what JD from NY said, Cody is trying to be a politician, and yeah, I'm telling you right now, us the fans, we're going to get sick of it. To be honest, we already sick of it. We love Cody, so we're trying to hold off. But I feel like this would be a good heel turn for Cody somewhere down the line. It could even wait a year or two, but I feel like he could be a dirty politician or something like that, and that could be a nice heel turn for him. But I'm going to tell you right now, the fans are going to start booing this. It's like sometimes it becomes too cheesy. It's kind of like the John Cena effect, if y'all remember that. Then he wants the crowd to point at the WrestleMania stand. And, man, Cody still has an incredible influence because all of Chicago points at the WrestleMania 40 stand. Then what happens? The final boss comes out. And it's the segment I was talking about where he came out, did his entrance, did his thing. It's like a movie when The Rock comes out. I kind of love him being a part of the board because I could just see him talking to his writers. He write the script. He throws it up to Triple H, and Triple H just like has to fit it in the show. And even though this was nothing he had to really fit in, because Rock just came in. He whispered something to Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes give this fake look like he's... And now let me say this too. When you look at Rock and Cody Rhodes, when they stand face to face, it looks like no way in hell Cody Rhodes has a chance against The Rock. In real life, in fake life, in wrestling life, in script writing, I don't see how. Like, it's just, Rock looks like a action figure, and Cody Rhodes kind of looks like somebody like, you know, like a normal 9-to-5 guy like me, you know. Like, it's just like Rock looks like a monster compared to Cody Rhodes. It's like you have no chance against the final boss. And I think that's probably the look they're going for too, because, you know, they're trying to do this whole comeback story with Cody Rhodes redeems himself from WrestleMania, and it's doing an all right job, you know. Crowd chants Rocky sucks as he walk out. How you come out and don't say nothing? That is kind of crazy. Like, we never seen that. Let's just be real. Anybody who been watching wrestling forever, y'all know we never seen that. Like, we never, and when I say never seen that, I mean you got Austin, you got The Rock, you got Jericho, you got Rollins. Who else is good on the mic? You got Michaels. You got Triple H. You got CM Punk. You got, I could just keep naming a bunch of people that are really top tier on the mic. When do you ever see them come out and just not say anything? Like, it's almost like, what? Like, hold on, you don't got nothing to say about Chicago. You're not gonna diss Chicago. You're not gonna nothing. Like, so I think they felt a certain type of way. Chicago not playing that. They started booing him and all Rocky sucks chants as he walks out, and you don't chant Rocky sucks. That's why we got the final boss now. Well, they chanted Rocky sucks the first time. What happened? Nation of Domination Rock came. Then, what happened from there, corporate Rock and all of that. Now everybody was cool with The Rock. He had a long run being babyface. You chanted Rocky sucks again. Now the final boss came. I watched chanting Rocky sucks if I was y'all. What did you whisper to Cody, the announcer? I forgot the young lady name, but what did The Rock whisper to you, Cody? And no, The Rock. She actually asked The Rock. She asked The Rock, "What did you whisper to Cody?" Then he says, "Ask Cody." Okay. Judgment Day has a meeting about nothing. Like, these Judgment Day meetings, I really don't. I could do without it. Like, okay, it's cool 1 week, 2 weeks. We're going like a year of this. Like, can we just improvise a little bit more? I know I keep bringing y'all back in the day, but this is only where I could compare it to the greatest era of wrestling, which is the Attitude Era. There was two gentlemen, the name of Bradshaw and Farouk. They were called the APA. And man, they had like an office where they drunk beer, they played cards, and they didn't even have an office. They had like a door thing where you had to knock on like literally a door. Like, if I just sat a door right here with no walls and you still had to knock in and you still had to respect the door, that's what they had. And it was like, you was drinking beer, you was smoking, you had bitches there, you was fucking playing cards. It was like something that, with the exception of the door, it was just realistic. Like, the Judgment Day just having a meeting in this small ass locker room about nothing. That's the thing. The meeting is about nothing. Like, they're not doing nothing. They're sitting back, then they're talking, and it's like, I love Damian Priest, but it's just, I don't know, something is off. Something is really off, you know what I mean? You got Dom, where we hate to love him. You got Rhea Ripley, where she's supposed to be a heel, but we love her. You got Damian Priest, where you won the Money in the Bank last year. It seems like he's been holding that briefcase for about 2 or 3 years now, and it's just like, I don't know. I like Damian Priest too. I just don't know where they're going with this storyline. Then you got JD, and it's just like, he's a great wrestler. He's a great talent, but he loses every fucking week. So what are we doing with that? I just wish that was a little bit more improvised. Like, maybe the Judgment Day could be backstage, and maybe they could just be in a new setting, or they could be doing stuff like, I don't even know. I don't know. It's just that segment kind of caught. It's just, I'm stuck on that. I'm stuck on that one. I'm not even gonna lie. What are you backstage doing? Maybe working out. Honestly, like, I love when wrestling aligns with real life. So y'all wrestlers, we all know y'all wrestlers. Why aren't y'all like working out or something like that, or trying to create a plan, or I don't know. Like, these segments are like really mid. Ricochet versus JD McDonough for the third time. I love Ricochet. Let me say that too. Ricochet. Now, I know I say people are underrated here and there, but Ricochet, I have to give the title. He is the most underrated wrestler on both Raw and SmackDown. Not only that, I feel like he's one of the most he's the most underrated wrestler in professional wrestling. This dude is not only a star, he's this dude, what he does in the ring, it just looks effortless. It's kind of like Steph Curry shooting a three from half court. It's like, how do you make that look so easy? Ricochet is a great talent. Now the thing is, he's such a great talent. Like, how do you? It's like the Kofi Kingston effect. It's like, damn, what do you write for such a great talent like this? And I'm usually on the WWE writers' ass, but I ain't even gonna lie. If I was a part of the 100 writers with WWE, that would be a hard one. It's always a hard one. We have such a great talent, and it's like, what do we write? How do we like? I don't know, man. How do we expose this great talent for because him and JD McDonough, it's great. You know that they could put on a great match, but what keeps the fans captivated is not great wrestling. The great wrestling is great for the marks like myself and other people around, other marks. Y'all know the marks. We like the great wrestling matches. He did this shooting star press. He did this. He did that. But what keeps the fans captivated is the storytelling. Ricochet has had like close to zero emotion in his story writing. Like, what are we emotionally connected to with Ricochet? And I hope someone from WWE writing team sees this, because I promise you, I'm going to give you the perfect thing you could do with Ricochet as far as writing a story. Now, do y'all remember when Macho Man and Elizabeth, they was kind of like, now I know this might be weird in 2024, and it might get a lot of backlash, but remember when Macho Man was just treating Elizabeth kind of like shit, and he got a lot of heat for it? Then you got him and Hulk Hogan. I think that was around a time. Yo, let me look that up, man. I gotta look that up. When was Hulk Hogan versus Macho Man? WrestleMania. What WrestleMania? That was WrestleMania 5. Oh man. Hulk Hogan versus Macho Man, WrestleMania 5. Elizabeth, and it was like, it was real life imitating art, but scratch all of that, whatever he was doing in real life, and he used to keep her in the locker room, whether that's true or not. I'm not really talking about that. I'm just talking about just the dynamic between Macho and Elizabeth. If WWE writes a story for Ricochet where Ricochet and Samantha, we all love Samantha Irwin. This woman right here, that's my heart, because I feel like she's the best announcer since Howard Finkel. Now, if y'all don't know who Howard Finkel is, y'all look that man up. Like Samantha is great, right? But she will always be number 2. Howard Finkel will always be number 1. If you're born in the 80s and you grew up in the 90s, you know Howard Finkel was the epitome of, like, when you hear that voice, like if I heard Howard Finkel voice right now, it would give me, like The Rock be doing, it would just give me goosebumps, because we're talking about somebody on the level of Michael Buffer. Is that the announcer for boxing names? Let me see. I don't like to be that's why we got Google here. All right, Michael Buffer. Yeah, he's the ring announcer for boxing. That's how, like, he's the importance of boxing. That's how Howard Finkel was for wrestling. But I say like 20 times more. When you hear Howard Finkel announce your name at the main event, it really don't get much bigger than that. I'm going off on a little tangent here, but I think she's number 2 to Howard Finkel. We all love Samantha. If we got Ricochet, like, kind of treating the little Samantha a little bit way, so maybe she's like flirting with some, not even flirting, so maybe she's like showing attention to another wrestler, or you know how she be excited on the race side, she's excited for somebody else, and just Ricochet starts looking at that and getting a little bit jealous, and now telling her to, yo, come on, man, you gotta leave your job early, you gotta leave with me, or we get them backstage segments of that, or maybe on social media. That's what wrestling needs to do too. They need to start bringing these promos on social media so the fans could be figuring out, is this real or is this fake? Just like kind of like when CM Punk came back and Seth Rollins had his irate reaction, which I still think was probably all part of the play. The play that just didn't play out because CM Punk got hurt. But I think that was setting up for a match because they knew everybody will be recording that. And I think the same thing should happen with Ricochet. Ricochet is... I might be going on a stretch here because I love Macho Man and I love Macho Man work, but Macho Man work could be the greatest work of all time. What made Macho Man is the story writing. When you writing compelling stories the way they was back in the day for Macho Man, that's what made Macho Man Macho Man. Of course with the wrestling, of course with the attire, of course with the look, of course with the charisma. All that is just a given. But it's still the story writing that draws you into these characters. Ricochet is a great talent. He just needs that right storyline. They have to jump on a limb. All right, we get it. You're a good guy. You could do high flips. We've seen that before. Either give us something we haven't seen in a long time, or give us something new. You got to take advantage of people like Ricochet because he is incredible. But I went on a little rant there, but Ricochet fights JD in a match that means absolutely nothing. And to be honest, the crowd is hot most of the night, but when you're not giving the crowd nothing to feed off of, it's just going to go flat. And the crowd seemed a little bit flat, like in the middle of the match. They were doing some great things, though. JD hits the Spanish Fly. Ricochet kicks out. The Spanish Fly, that move looks really cool, but everyone kicks out of it. So, I don't know. Like, I think they should stop doing that. That move looks cool. That move looks like a finisher, you know? Like, I feel like everyone kicks out of that move. But Ricochet does a crazy move off the top rope. Oh yeah, he's about to do a move of the top rope. He's about to do a shooting stars press or whatever. Dom gets on the apron and the ref tells him to get down, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna get down. Then he like gets off the apron and shakes the ropes as he gets off the apron. Of course, Ricochet, he falls, hits his nuts on the thing. Then oh yeah, then the ref does his ref thing. I never seen nobody talk about this when the ref does this. I promise you, I ain't gonna lie. I would love to be a referee because they got this one move where when somebody does something outside, it's like, did you do that? Did you do that? No, did you do that? Then they gotta let it build up. Did you do that? Did you, you're out of here. You're out of here. Then the crowd pops and it's like, oh, I have to leave. But what did you think he was out there to do? Just watch the match up close? Like, but I kind of like that move for the ref. So he does that to Dom. And then Ricochet does a shooting star press. And oh man, it just landed so perfect. This shooting star press landed perfectly. And if I'm not mistaken, JD was standing up too. That's what I'm saying. Ricochet is so great. JD was standing up. He lands a shooting star press perfectly. 1, 2, 3. JD loses another match. Why is he in Judgment Day? I said this before. I feel like JD would be much better in NXT. Not to take him off the main roster because he's a great talent. But if you're not going to give him any type of storylines so he could build his character, we could build some emotional attachment to this character, then what if he could do better like doing that in NXT? I feel like just have him at NXT. You know, try to build the NXT brand with talents like JD. And even if he is going to be at the main roster, why not still be at NXT? Just here and there. I don't know. I'm just shooting off the hip, to be honest. I really don't know to do with people like JD because he's such a great talent. But him being in Judgment Day is just like, why are you here? I get Damian Priest. You know, he's a star. You know, he's Money in the Bank. I feel like he's a future WWE champion. You got Rhea Ripley, the number one woman in the women's division. We got Dom Dom, a straight star. We love to hate Dom Dom. Who else we got? We got Finn Balor, you know, the Kuna Gra, you know, he got the demon gimmick he does. You know, Finn Balor just got some work. He put in work. Then you got JD. And it's kind of like, I think R-Truth made more sense than JD. And it's not even a knock to JD because I'm actually saying he's a great talent. I feel like he needs to be in a situation where he shines more. He gets in this situation. Like, why is Ricochet beating JD 3? I love Ricochet, but why are you beating JD 3 times in a row, if I'm not mistaken? But all right, let's just move on from that. 11th sellout on the road to WrestleMania. So they did a commercial break and they announced that this is the 11th sellout on the road to WrestleMania. The road to WrestleMania is picking up a lot of steam, and we could thank Dwayne Johnson for that. Then what happens? CM Punk comes out. The crowd pops. You know, that's his home, Chicago. He got the little brace on for his, I think he had a tricep tear. Crowd pops heavy. Chicago loves this guy. Oh yeah, they're doing this thing. They've been kind of doing it, but I kind of love when they do it, man. When they have the wrestlers backstage, probably for like 7 seconds before they come out to the main stage, and we could get to see them come out. You know, for like people like me, I always wanted to know what was backstage like, and like, you know, what was it like coming out to the ring and all of that? And it kind of gives you that first-person view, not even first-person view, but it just gives you a kind of view that we never had before. It's different from the just regular camera pan into the entrance. It's just we get to see, like, literally when he's walking out, which is like, I like that they're doing that now. CM Punk is soaking up the crowd reaction. I know, like, CM Punk is like, because he got hurt at the Royal Rumble. He was supposed to fight Seth at WrestleMania, and it's just, man, like, he's supposed to be working WrestleMania with Seth, and they were going to put on a classic, but it didn't happen, and I know he's just so eager to get back and just prove why he's the best in the world. And I got to give the quotes too, because Punk, you ain't the best in the world. There's only one best, and that's Bret Hart. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Bret Hart's my favorite wrestler. CM Punk, I can't give you that, but I understand that's your slogan, so we're going to go with that's what I just got to do your slogan with the quotation marks. He's soaking up the crowd reaction. He's on the announcer table, raising the mic, letting the people cheer. You know, he takes shots at Roman, Seth, Rock, Drew McIntyre. CM Punk is such a natural on the mic. It's like it's just effortless. You know, it's definitely effortless. He kind of alludes to host the WrestleMania being a referee. I think they're playing with that idea. Kind of like, remember when The Rock and Roman was like kind of an idea, but it wasn't, but they're trying to see how the fans are feeling about it. I think they're doing that. Like, they're trying to see how does the fans feel about CM Punk refereeing in the Drew McIntyre Seth Rollins match. And to be honest, I say no. If you was gonna write that, it should have been a few weeks ago. We're like a week and change away from WrestleMania. Just put a regular ref in there, and I could do without that. We're talking about a WWE champion. People are already shitting on the championship belt that Seth Rollins has. People are already pooping on that. Let's just try to put some respect on that. I feel like when you start having CM Punk out there, the referee for a WWE Championship match for just because he wanted to, for no really real reason at all, it just it dilutes that championship more in my eyes. Even though I would kind of like to see it, but I would like for it to make sense. I feel like it's not enough time for it to make sense right now. We'll see what they do with that. Then Drew McIntyre interrupts CM Punk. CM Punk says, "Cut this stupid song off." Drew McIntyre is cutting promos. Drew McIntyre is working like the rents do. He's working like that contract was coming up and it was time to renegotiate. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall at them conversations renegotiating Drew McIntyre contracts. I think it's obvious that he signed the new contract and he's going to be sticking with WWE and within the foreseeable future. Drew McIntyre has just been such an incredible, just character. He turned this character into just, we don't even know what this is yet because it's developing in front of our eyes. He's cutting promos. Not one slip up, not one mistake. He's when you could be out there with Seth Rollins, and I didn't get to that yet, but Seth Rollins also came out. When you could be out there with Seth Rollins and CM Punk and just hold your own, and you don't look out of place at all, we got to start putting Drew McIntyre on that pedestal. And we talking about somebody who carried the company. He won the title in the weirdest time of WWE history in the COVID area. No fans was in the building when he won the title. For you to carry that, it's just, I feel like it builds character, and it built this character, what we're getting now. I love what Drew McIntyre is doing. So I just alluded to Seth. So Drew and Punk's going back and forth. The promos incredible. Drew says, "You never drink or do drugs, but you spend all your time in rehab." Yo, Drew, it's he has unlimited. Whenever you could take shots at CM Punk like that, and you even leave CM Punk, he didn't win that one. That's because that's what I remember. CM Punk had a few cute lines, but man, that was the one right there. He sat cross-legged on the table, and had an exchange, and CM Punk I think Drew McIntyre was cutting a promo, and he was talking shit. Then burn it down. Seth Rollins come out, and everybody's popping for Seth Rollins. He does his whole spiel, whatever. Now Seth Rollins started alluding to, well, do you want to be CM Punk to be in color commentary? And everybody was like, no. He's trying to allude to him being a referee, and he was like, well, let me let y'all know he can't be the referee because he has to pin, that's his arm that's messed up. So CM Punk went down on the ground. 1, 2, 3. He counted with his left hand. It looked pretty clean, but then again, I could just do without CM Punk being the referee. So they go back and forth. Punk tries to have last word. Drew says, "Cut the music." CM Punk, he tries to talk shit and walk out. Everybody's happy. Drew McIntyre's like, cut the music, cut the music. Then he starts talking shit, and then Seth interrupts. He like, what does Seth Rollins do? He hits McIntyre with a super kick, then give him a stomp. Then I feel like it ended prior with Seth Rollins promo. So everybody got to get their song played, which is great. Besides The Rock and Cody Rhodes whipping Cody Rhodes outside in the rain, this was the best highlight of Raw. Everything else was literally filler, and if it wasn't for y'all, honestly, I would have turned Raw off and probably fell asleep, then missed that Cody and Rock segment because, man, some of this stuff was hard to like stay up for. Shinsuke Nakamura cuts a promo on Jay. I like these promos Shinsuke been cutting. I just honestly, I think the writing for Shinsuke needs to go more, like we need him to be more, lack of a better term, violent. We need him to be more of a heel. We need him to put some spice. We need him to kick it up. And I feel like he has it in him. But the writers are writing his stuff so mid. It's just like I don't know, man. Shinsuke has a lot more than what the writers are writing for him. And he cuts a promo on Jay. And I don't even know why they're fighting. They haven't explained it. It's just a random main event. We could go without that. Ivy Now versus Candice LeRae. I hope I'm saying her name right. Ivy Now. I like Candice. Something about Candice is fire. I'm telling you that right now. I don't know what it is. Candice LeRae is fire though. I like this storyline where she's bullying Maxine Dupree. I wish they kind of built this up a few weeks before, so we could have this moment where, Candice LeRae fighting Maxine at WrestleMania and Maxine beats the bully. Maybe at WrestleMania 41 because it's definitely too early for WrestleMania 40. And I know there's going to be probably people saying, what? Candice LeRae and Maxine on a WrestleMania card, but like I said, wrestling is about storylines, and when she dissed her dead brother, that was the start of a very, very interesting storyline that we're gonna see play out, and it's gonna probably take a year to play out. But once this all said and done, I feel like they got something here. That was a very small seed that was planted. She hits Maxine and acts like her knee is injured. Then she goes to the corner. Then the girl Ivy tries to beat her up. Then she somehow pins her. Then puts her foot on the rope. 1, 2, 3. Candice LeRae wins the match. Then her friend is like hating on her, to be honest. Candice LeRae is picking up wins. Y'all supposed to be heels. Her friend is like, this doesn't feel right. I don't know what her friend thinks. I don't know what they're writing for her, but I guess they got a beef that's about to be brewing between that. But I hope they don't drop the ball on Candice LeRae and this storyline. But that stuff with her friend, I wish they cut that out because that really don't make sense. Then the commercial comes. Awesome Truth on commentary. It just seemed like this when I started to get tired, to be honest. It seemed like a lot was going on in the match. We got 4 commentators. We got 4 wrestlers in the ring. You got DIY versus The New Day. Then you got R-Truth. Then you got The Miz. Then you got Pat. Then you got Michael Cole. It's a lot going on. But they do their little back and forth. The New Day versus DIY. Of course, we got 4 fantastic wrestlers, but they're not really doing nothing to really note about, to be honest. They're just not. It's not a whack match or nothing like that, but we all know what these 4 bring to the table. So, and at the same time, we all seen it before. And why are they fighting? We don't even know. So it's just like a filler match. Judgment Day interrupts, then they beat everybody up, and Miz tries to help DIY and New Day from getting beat up. He gets beat up. I'm like, where's our truth at? He's not helping. He's on commentary saying, I'm commentating today. I'm commentating today. Then the Judgment Day, they walks out. They're like, yo, man. He's like, man, I'm commentating. So they throw him in the ring. He tries to fight back. Of course, he loses, starts beating him up. Then I'm going to tell you this one part. I promise. Our truth abs hurt right now, and they're probably going to hurt for about 3 or 4 days. They held him like, I think somebody had his feet and somebody had his arms. Finn Balor does the coup de grace from the top rope. See, normally people can like brace when he does that move. If you're laying down, you can like brace, and when he does that move, he did that move. It just, our truth sold it very well, but a part of me believes that no, that wasn't even selling it. That shit looked like it hurt bad. So he does that, and that's it for that. Cody Rhodes says he can't repeat what Rock said to him. I don't like, what's like, I don't, huh? I don't get this. Like, what's the, all right, you whisper something, then The Rock says, ask Cody. She asks Cody. Cody says he can't repeat what The Rock says to him. You are just, why? Is it that vulgar? He done said, fuck your story. You done told him he has little dick energy. And now he says something so atrocious that you can't fucking repeat it. You can't like give us any type of anything. That shit is kind of trash, to be honest. But moving along, Ring General cuts a promo on Sami Zayn. This Gunther and Sami Zayn match. If I'm writing this for WrestleMania, Sami not going over Gunther. I don't know what's going on, but I feel like they haven't. We love Sami Zayn, but it's not given right now. It's a disconnect. It's a disconnect with Sami Zayn right now, and no one can really put their finger on it. There's no way in hell he should be beating Gunther at WrestleMania. And to be honest, it needs to be Chad Gable versus Gunther at WrestleMania. Chad Gable needed to beat Gunther, win the IC title, have his daughter in the stands. And I know Philadelphia, we could come across as, like tough and rude and mean sometimes. But man, this is a city of brotherly love. We would have loved that heartfelt moment for Chad Gable to win that title in front of his daughter. That would have been incredible. But instead, we got Gunther versus Sami Zayn, and I don't see Sami Zayn winning this Intercontinental title. I don't see what sense that makes having him leave WrestleMania 40 with the Intercontinental title. But Ring General, he cuts a promo. He's basically looking over Sami Zayn, and I hope that's not a setup for him losing because he looked over Sami Zayn at WrestleMania, but we'll see. Andrade versus Giovanni Vinci. Andrade is fire. I'm not even going to lie. We're going to be real. I never seen an Andrade match. I don't think ever, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if he came from AEW. I think that's Charlotte's husband. I never seen a match from him. Andrade work is very, 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 very good. This dude is charismatic. I love when people do stuff in the ring that I never seen before. Like, I don't even have this written down, but he had this one move where he swung into the ropes Then he like kind of laid in the ropes, in between the ropes. It's hard to explain. And he like did a little. I love that charismatic stuff. And man, this dude chops is up there with Gunther's. You know, when Gunther chop you, your whole chest is turning red. And Andrade chops is like that too. I love his work. I love Giovanni Vinci work also. It's like to perfection, you know. And he's him being with the ring general makes sense. This is where the writing team nails it on the head because Giovanni Vinci, I like him a lot. They do a great match. Andrade does his backflip. He did a backflip off the top rope, landed on his feet, then did a backflip into a pin. 1, 2. Of course, he kicks out. They go to commercial. Andrade chops the shit out of Vinci, then hits him with the message. 1, 2, 3. Andrade, I like what he's doing. I know they're trying to recruit him to Judgment Day. I think he needs to fight JD for his spot and beat him. But that's like plan B. My plan A would be, you know what? Let's not have him join Judgment Day. Let's have him create a storyline of his own on Raw. You got Santos Escobar, you got Ray, you got all of them on SmackDown. Let's try to create a lane for him on Raw and excuse me. And I like that, man. All right, so they go to the commercial. Like I said, Andrade won that match. Rhea Ripley comes out with Dominic Mysterio. Talks about Becky not giving Rhea her full attention. This is one of the predictable things the writing team is doing again. We all know Becky Lynch is losing at WrestleMania. They have to make it make sense. So Becky Lynch fights every single week. There's no way you're fighting every single week. WrestleMania 40, you're going to beat Rhea Ripley. It just does not going to happen, and it doesn't make sense. Rhea Ripley is the number one women's champion. She's the number one women's performer right now. And after WrestleMania, it's going to stay that way. They just have to keep Becky Lynch looking strong, so that's why she has all these matches, and at WrestleMania, she'll have an excuse. Oh, I should have never took all the matches. Whatever, you're done. Not done. I like Becky, but nah, yeah. She has to have a classic match with Rhea, just because in a few years, the whole story is gonna come together. Rhea got the championship from Charlotte. The next year, she defended it against Becky. Bailey is she's not even a factor. Sasha Banks is in AEW. Like, what is more for Ripley to do? She got 2 out of the 4 of the horsewomen, whatever they call them. That's good enough from there, if you ask me. Rhea says Becky daughter will call her mommy, and then Becky gets emotional, and I kind of like where Becky went with this promo. She got emotional, and she said something about her dad being able to see her be a good mom, and they started arguing, and Becky Lynch, she really rocked Dom's jaw. Like, I ain't gonna lie, that wasn't no WWE like LA Knight, AJ Styles. That was a straight, she chin checked Dominic Mysterio. I know he felt that. They start fighting back and forth, and that's it. They break it up, and that's about it. Sami Zayn versus Bronson Reed. This match is super mid because it's like, why are they fighting? Just because, okay. Gunther comes out, distracts Sami Zayn. Bronson Reed jumps from the top rope. He really squashed Sami Zayn on this one. I don't know why they were even fighting in the first place. Maybe Sami Zayn is going for the Becky Lynch excuse. I didn't beat Gunther because I was fighting before Wrestle. I don't know. But yo, that storyline is kind of trash. I'm so like, how do you miss Gunther versus Chad Gable? The story writes itself. Why are we seeing Gunther versus Sami Zayn? Sami Zayn won the titles at the main event, WrestleMania 39. Like I said with Rey Mysterio in the last episode, you had your shot. It was a feel-good moment. Move over, let the next superstar sit in and do their thing. Chad Gable versus Gunther would have been a fucking classic at WrestleMania 40, man. I'm kind of mad they messed that up. And I love Sami Zayn too, but I just didn't want to see this. Sami Zayn loses the match. He's back. I'm glad Bronson Reed finally got a win because sometimes I don't know. I think he's cool too. I like him as a talent, but once again, that's another wrestler. I feel like the writers are kind of failing. Sami Zayn backstage upset. I hate to say this, but Sammy, man, I love you, man, but I know you're supposed to look like a regular guy or whatever, but you got to get in the gym, man. Your belly poking out. It's just no one believes you're gonna be, unless this is intentional. Like you want to just look at it. I don't know. No one believes you're gonna be Gunther. Gunther's in the best shape of his life. Like we all seen Gunther. He was like a heavyset guy. Now he's just like, he's just looks like an action figure. There's no way in hell you'll beat Gunther in real life or fake life. He's backstage, he's mad, and Chad Gable says he needs another approach to beat Gunther. Why does Chad Gable give a fuck if Sami Zayn beats Gunther? I have no idea. Maybe y'all should have made that a triple threat match since you already. I'd rather that. I'd rather Gunther versus Chad Gable and Sami Zayn versus this other bullshit triple threat match. Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul. I mean, why can't we have both? But I don't know. Pat McAfee putting over Jey Uso is hilarious. It's just me, Uso. Day one, it's just Pat McAfee's a star, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Like Pat McAfee is a star. He's putting over the talent. Man, he has his Versace, I think it was Versace shirt on, kind of like, kind of showing love to The Rock. He has a huge social media presence. People love him. Oh man, that was a great move for him to go to commentate on Raw with Michael Cole. All right, so now you got the main event. Jey Uso, Shinsuke Nakamura. To be honest, this match was like very, very mid. Outside of the fact that who cares why they're fighting, it's just like, I don't know, man. This just wasn't. It was nothing going on. It was extremely hard to stay awake during this match. And you know what happens? Like they have to stop this. Like, you do this every week. Jimmy and Solo Sikoa come from the crowd. It's just like, bro, again? Someone has to count how many times Jimmy and Solo Sikoa ever came from a WWE audience. It's redundant, it's repetitive, it's annoying. Just stop, please. We had enough. It's annoying. I love Jimmy. I love Solo. So it's not even to them. It's like when the WWE team is sitting here writing this, like, how do you write Jimmy and Jay come from the crowd again? What? Huh? They have to, like, write something better. Somebody can't come from. It's so many ways to interfere in a match. You could come from under the ring. You could come from the rafters like Sting. You could just come out regularly with an entrance. You could have did a plethora of things, but then come from the crowd again with the same black hoodie. Man, that shit is annoying. All right, so this is when they start fighting, right? So Jimmy is Solo. Oh yeah, Drew comes out. He hits Seth with the future shock. And every time I see that move now, it kind of makes me like, okay, Seth got up. Are we good? Or when he does it, because that's the move that CM Punk got injured on. And I don't know what really happened, why he got or how he got injured when that move was made, but excuse me. I think they need to watch that. Honestly, we got a week out of WrestleMania. Seth has a bad knee. I don't think he needs to be taking a future shock outside of the ring. It's just not worth it. So Jay beats Shinsuke Nakamura, right? Now that's cool. No one expected Shinsuke Nakamura to win. He never wins. Why? I don't know. Maybe he pissed somebody in the writing team off. I don't know. Now the problem I have is, why do you beat Nakamura with a spear? Not your finisher. You don't go off the top rope. Not even a super kick. You beat him with a spear? Huh? Shinsuke Nakamura deserves better than that. So, I don't know what's going on, but come on. Like this, like we're wasting talent here. He gets beat with a spear. What do y'all have lined up for Shinsuke for WrestleMania? He needs a fucking award for all these jobs he's been taking. Like, my God, he can't get nothing on nothing. His biggest thing I guess last year was him beefing with Cody that he ultimately had to lose. It's just, yeah, what are we doing with Shinsuke? He's a great talent. I love them vignettes and them promos he be doing. I would just wish, come on, man. Come on. I don't even think he spit that stuff out, like that poison out. He didn't even do that the night. Now I'm thinking about it. I don't think he even did that. Maybe I fell asleep if he did, but I'm pretty sure he didn't. So, of course, Shinsuke loses with a spear. Fight continues backstage. The Rock comes from out of nowhere, beats Cody up. We went through all that in the beginning. And then, just to touch on that, The Rock is saving WrestleMania 40. Let's think about it. Let's take The Rock out of WrestleMania 40. What if he opted out to not be in WrestleMania 40? What does this look like? With no CM Punk. So we got Drew versus Seth, which is cool. If we didn't have Rock, we'll have Cody versus Roman night 2. Not on night 1. It wouldn't be a double thing, so that'll be night 2. Man, this WrestleMania card will look extremely mid without The Rock. The Rock has single-handedly carried WrestleMania 40 straight into Philadelphia. Now, I'm going to be real. I'm broke. I'm not sure if I could afford tickets to WrestleMania this year. So if I can't be in the building, then I'm definitely gonna be outside the building, in the parking lot somewhere. I gotta feel this energy, you know what I mean? Like this WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. The last time this happened was WrestleMania. Was it 15 or 16? I believe it was 15. Let me see real quick. WrestleMania 15. All right, yep. WrestleMania 15, Philadelphia. I never forget that. I wanted to go so bad, man. That was when they had the Big Boss Man and the Hell in a Cell and all of that stuff. Everybody said this was a lackluster WrestleMania though, but I actually should watch this on Peacock. I don't even remember it like that. But WrestleMania 40. I don't know, man. It's going to be some interesting things going on. I got some other videos coming to the channel, too. So it's not just going to be recaps. We're going to have some flashback videos, my opinions of certain pay-per-views back in the day. If y'all got any ideas of what y'all want to see on this channel, comment under them comments. Let me know what y'all want me to cover. Let me know what y'all want to see. And I didn't forget, Wednesday, 8 p.m., I'll be watching my first episode of AEW. Is it Dynamite or whatever the AEW is? I don't even know what show it is, but if I'm not mistaken, it comes on Wednesday at 8. I'll be watching my first show of AEW, and I'll be recapping it. It's on TBS, so, I'm going to give an honest recap. And I'm going to treat it just like a Raw or SmackDown. I'm going to give it a fair shot. To be honest, just from what I can see right now, AEW has been doing great work. Like from the highlights I've been seeing from, Cody's run. I like the highlights I've seen on Cody's run. I like the Edge and Christian. They had an I Quit match. I'm hearing great things about that. Sting retirement. I'm hearing great things about that. Jade Cargill. I've seen a bunch of highlights on that. Jeff Hardy had a crazy match with one of their AEW guys. MJF. Is that his name? Let me make sure that's his name. MJF AEW. Is that him? Yeah, MJF. I like this guy. I like this guy. I actually did see when they had this storyline about the demon and all of that, and we seen who the demon was, and it was, I think, the guy Adam Copeland is Edge. Adam something. I don't even know. I could be butchering that, but don't worry. I'm gonna do my homework. Wednesday, we're gonna check out this AEW, and we're gonna see what's going on, and I'm gonna give my take on it. Like I said, I'm a WWE guy. I've been a WWE guy since 1988. I was born in 1988, so my whole life I don't know too much of nothing. And within the last recent years, I just started to grow appreciation for for WCW. I always a fan of ECW, but WCW, I just grew an appreciation for WCW and what they brought to the table, which was incredible. The things that Eric Bischoff did in his career I feel like it's underrated what he did with WCW. And now we got AEW. We had TNA and all. We got New Japan, and we got these other sectors of wrestling. But we talking about the big leagues, and AEW has made it to the big leagues. There's definitely no debating. That's the number 2 wrestling programming right now. And I'll be watching my first full show of AEW Wednesday. We're going to recap that also. And like I said, it's Bobbymonsson215. If you really watch this whole video, I appreciate it. We at 8 subscribers right now, so I appreciate all 8 of y'all. And this gonna be a journey. I'm gonna keep my word. I'm gonna keep recapping this Raw, SmackDown. I'm gonna give y'all some extra shows. I'm Jay, Bobbymonsson215.